Welcome to the Gaming and Chill, episode number 101. Today we have a guest, Miss E. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding, keeping very busy as of late, especially moving into the holiday season.
Yes, I love Christmas.
I know, right? The other day I got to see your reading Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on your
Yes, I
stream.
was reading Rudolph. Very excited.
Okay. So we're actually going to do some icebreakers, talk about Twitch and the recent changes, and how you got into streaming, and much, much more. But first, this episode is sponsored by Humble Bundle.
Thanks, guys. Our partner for this week's podcast is Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is an online digital store that sells some of the most popular games from the most popular game developers. But that's not all. They also offer bundle deals that change weekly and monthly that allow you to pay a designated amount for a collection of games or ebooks that can often save you hundreds of dollars. Humble Bundle then donates portions of its proceeds to a featured charity. In addition to this awesome business model, they have also partnered with us so we get a small portion of any purchase or donation through their website. All you need to do is go to our website, scroll to the bottom of the page, and click the Humble Bundle partner logo and shop for any games of your heart's desire. Thanks, Humble Bundle. Back to you guys.
Okay, so let's get into those icebreakers. How does that sound to you?
It sounds great.
Okay. If you could only have one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
So when you say one food, does that like pizza or do you mean like desserts too?
Let's just say one meal. So like one meal set. So say for example, if you have lunch and you have a grilled cheese sandwich, tomato soup, coffee, a cookie, and a baguette, I'll consider that's one meal. That's one food.
Oh my gosh, that's so tough. Bacon and waffles and coffee and orange juice. I love breakfast foods.
Okay, that works. Is it the bacon or the waffles that really sells you?
Basically the bacon. I'm an American, so.
Amen to that. I don't eat bacon nearly as much, and there was there was a huge bacon craze, and then all of a sudden it was just gone. Like, I remember there was bacon clothing, bacon flavored this, bacon flavored that, and then all of a sudden, overnight, no more bacon. No one was obsessed with bacon anymore, and I was like, I don't understand this. Like, what happened?
It didn't die with me. I'm still obsessed with it.
I remember they had, when I was at school, they had at the bakery, like a candied bacon molasses donut, and I'm like, it was pretty bad.
It was bad. That sounds amazing. How was it bad?
It was like sickeningly sweet, and they did something really, really weird with the bacon. Like they almost like coated it in sugar and then candied it, and it was like,
wow.
And then they like coated it in more syrup, and I'm like, guys, if you want us to just get diabetes and move, that's fine, but why all this pretense?
See, that's where they failed. If they had just made like regular bacon and then crumbled it up on like a regular like caramel donut, it would have been fine. Yeah. They like over sweetened it like to an extent, because if you're doing bacon with like candy or something like that, you have to have like that sweet and salty mix for it to be acceptable. I don't know anyone that just wants to eat candied bacon on top of a donut.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was almost like they were doing epic mealtime, and it's like, this isn't okay for a bakery.
What's the worst thing we can make?
That would be the mystery meat on Fridays. For me, my meal that I would go for actually was the one I used as an example. A nice grilled cheese sandwich with a nice cup of tomato soup, a oatmeal cream pie latte, and then bourbon molasses cookies.
Ooh, nice. Have you ever, there is it's up in Ohio. I think they're starting to branch out, but there's actually a franchise restaurant, and I don't remember the name of it for the life of me. I'll remember it in like 4 hours, but their entire menu is like 50 different types of like tomato soup and grilled cheeses.
Oh, like, there's a place down here, Tom and Chi.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, that just made me think of it. Are they any good? Because if that's like your favorite meal, I would think that you would eat there a lot.
When I ate there, I was not a huge soup fan.
Oh.
This year has been the year of soup for me and sweet potatoes. Well,
that's awesome.
I want to attribute it to losing about 50 to 60 pounds.
Oh, congrats. That's awesome.
And now I'm just so cold. And during the winter, I'm like, give me that soup. But thank you. Yeah, like just before I was like, soup, no thank you. But now I'm like, soup? Is it tomato soup? Clam chowder? Doesn't matter. Bring me a bowl. It's really weird. And it's like one of those, like, on occasion, my wife will look at me and going, what's the matter with you? You don't eat soup. And I'm like, give me the soup. It's really weird for me. Okay. What is your favorite mixed drink? It can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Your call.
So anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge boozer. I drink a lot. We basically blame it on the fact that I'm Catholic. But
fair enough.
Yeah. So I used to drink when I used to drink mixed drinks. I used to drink White Russians, like from the Big Lebowski.
Okay.
I used to be obsessed with White Russians. I would drink them all the time. And then, I don't know, it's like the older I've gotten, the less I care for the mixed drinks. And now I just drink straight honey whiskey. Okay. I just pour it and I drink it that way. I don't ever actually like do anything else. What about you?
When I used to drink, it was rum and Coke. Simple enough.
Nice. Yeah, it's classic.
Classic. Coconut
you can't go wrong with the classic. Yeah. Coconut, oh nice. So give it a little bit of spice in there. Little flavor like you're at the beach.
Exactly. It was nice because I used to bartend. And like,
oh wow.
Yeah, it was fun, but I didn't drink then. I was like after I quit bartending that I drank, and then I just stopped drinking. But I just looking at all the drinks, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try this, and I'd try like, I've tried a martini and things like that. I'm like, rum and Coke works for me. It's simple.
Yeah.
But I stopped drinking a while back ago just because I was like, not really my thing. After nearly drinking half a bottle of vodka in 2 hours, I was like, yeah, not really my style. I was like, okay, all right. And now I've had a bottle of liquor in my fridge for going on 1.5 years.
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, okay, so a bottle of liquor maybe lasts a week in my house. But I'm also like, I don't drink at bars. If I go to the bar, if I go to a restaurant, I don't drink. I only drink at home. And it's always very late whenever I drink, and I don't tend to overdo it, I guess. I think I have a very bit of a high tolerance as well, which probably helps with that.
Hey, there you go. I mean, when the bachelor party for my wedding, even then I drank, but I never really got drunk. I got off work, and so my friends were like, hey, no, you're coming to the bar with us. So we went to the local bar and had like, because I'm not a beer drinker.
Beer's disgusting.
I mostly had hard apple cider, a Irish car bomb, and a shot of whiskey.
Right.
And all said and done, we drank for about 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and then I was like, I'm not going to drive to home because I've got to be on this side of town to work again, and I was like, and I'm responsible, and this is before Uber was a thing.
Oh, wow. How long have you been married?
About 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
So it was before Uber really came to my city, I should say. It might have been around, but it was before it became prolific in my city.
It wasn't big here like 4 or 5 years ago either, so you're fair. That's fair.
And so I crashed at a friend's who lived across the street from the restaurant I worked at, and in the morning I was up before him. I got to work, and I was like, cool, there's no problem. And the manager was like, but you went out partying last night. And I'm like, we did, and here I am. I'm not hungover. And I was not hungover, and I'm like, all right, cool. I guess my tolerance is definitely high.
Responsible adulting.
Exactly. Always drink responsibly if you're listening is really the moral of the story.
Always. Very, very important.
Exactly. Okay, last question. I think this is going to be the toughest one.
Okay.
Explain Twitch streaming to Moses.
Like biblical Moses that parted the Red Sea?
Biblical Moses that parted the Red Sea.
Explain Twitch streaming to Moses.
It's one of those really tough questions.
That's such a wonderful, get your brain moving kind of question, though. Hats off. That's a good one.
We've had explain the contents of your purse to a Victorian age chimney sweep. Explain cosplay to a caveman. I like having the explain insert craft here to insert person here. It kind of makes you really stop and think about what is that art form that you use.
Let's see here. So I would probably say that instead of gathering everyone to talk to them, they all stay at home and you play a game and you laugh and you make jokes. And then everybody can see you. Oh, shoot. Goodness gracious. Sorry, my computer just made noise.
It's all good. It's computer.
Yeah, so we basically just stay home and my picture is astro projected to people and they just laugh while I play games and drink wine.
I think Moses could understand the drinking wine part.
Yeah, I don't think he'd understand the rest of it very well, but...
Hey, it works. I would have to go somewhere along the lines of something similar to what you said of playing games with friends that aren't here, and other people who are not playing the game with me and my friend can watch and talk to me and give donations of an imaginary currency and then get notified by carrier pigeon when I'm live. Yeah, that one got away from me.
Carrier pigeon. I don't even think they had those when Moses was around.
Gosh, now I'm. You know what? This is going to end up maybe later on researching. When did carrier pigeons become a thing? Game of Thrones just told me it was all ravens, though.
Yeah. No, they had doves. Didn't Moses. That was Noah.
That was Noah, and they were pretty much like, "Hey, go find land. If you don't return, you're good. Go find it, you bird." Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough one. Explaining to someone who has no idea what really any of that is.
I feel like it would be easier to explain to George Washington. At least there was some type of something going on in his time, whereas back when Moses was alive, it was much more
biblical.
Yes, biblical.
I mean, that's really the best way to put it.
That's the word, yeah.
It was biblical? I don't know.
It's old-fashioned? That's beyond old-fashioned, though.
Yeah, I think it's actually, is it now technically called, because it's BC, antiquity? In the historical sense, it's just in antiquity.
Yeah, I don't ever keep up with that. I went to public, so... Sorry, I have a friend that uses that line all the time.
Hey, I was homeschooled, so I was one of those kids.
So you're smart. Nah, dude, homeschool means you're brilliant then, right?
It's one or the other. I've known a couple, not to throw shade at other homeschool kids who, whatever. But it's either they're really smart or they did nothing.
I found that they tend to be, most people that I've met that are homeschooled tend to be absolutely brilliant, but socially awkward, which I'm very socially awkward and I did not homeschool, so I don't really correlate the two.
I can actually agree with that one. The college I went to was actually a Bible college, so homeschooling is a prevalent thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can attest. All of the homeschooled kids were socially awkward. Myself included.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, and I know that they're starting to kind of push it out now. I have a really, really good friend. His wife homeschooled for their 4 kids, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, so what do you do, like how do they get out and make friends? And he said, oh well, now we have like these homeschooling groups where I guess at the church that he belonged to, they actually like go out and have specific events for the kids 2 or 3 times a week, so they're constantly around people their own age.
Awesome.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still come home, and your mom's still there to help you, and ensure that you're learning proper things, which I thought was absolutely wonderful when he was telling me about it.
Yeah, I always your friend has the joke of don't blame me, I was public schooled.
Yeah, he said no, I don't know. Hey, don't blame me. I was public school. Like
I always have the incredibly. It's both makes people go, wait, what? And it is absolutely the absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished 9th grade.
Really?
Never finished 9th grade. I do, however, have my GED.
No, that's fair though. Like that's why the GED was created.
Exactly, but people go, wait, you just told us you have 2 degrees. And I'm like, I do. I'm like, but you also didn't graduate 9th grade? I'm like, all right, I can hear your brain fracturing from here. Let me explain.
So it's not. So that's actually completely normal to me. I served 7 years in, and one of the greatest people that I ever met when I was in was a first sergeant. So he was kind of like top of the line as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. He had a GED, but the man was brilliant. He just, when he was younger, he just didn't have time to go to school. He was supporting his family at a very young age. And he was absolutely brilliant. And I think that people that automatically like look down at people that don't have the high school diploma, like it shouldn't be an issue if you have a GED. If you're brilliant, you're brilliant. Who cares how you got the brilliance? Like, who cares?
Right.
It's
one of those things of, especially looking at like public schools today, where I'm like, mm-hmm. You have a high school diploma. It's starting to mean like, hey, you showed up in school.
It's exactly what it is.
Whereas like a GED is like, hey, you actually had to test for it. You had to show some
knowledge of the subject. Yeah.
Right, and not saying one is better than the other, but it's like, one, you have a little bit more, I guess there's a social game you have to play. It's like playing Game of Thrones, but you're only 17.
Yeah.
And the other one is you decided not to play Game of Thrones and just decided to go get your GED now, or there's extenuating circumstances where you had to get it later in life. And I love reading the stories of like, moms or dads going back to school after they've had kids and they're getting their GED. They're going and furthering their education now. And it's like, you go. You do that. Like, that's amazing.
It's never too late to improve upon yourself or, like, do something that you love.
There was a story of, what was it, like this older lady who was like in her 70s got a degree from college, like graduated college. And it's like, that's awe-inspiring to me. It's like, how many people will go go to college the first time, like, man, this is just so hard. And it's like, your job is to go to college. Like, that's it.
So it doesn't even, like, to me, I think that it doesn't even extend to college. It's like, I have not had time to college yet. I'm one of those people where I'm very content with where I am now, but I'm sure eventually maybe I'll be that next 70-year-old lady that gets her degree. Hey. In like underwater basket weaving or something, because I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up.
Who does? Honestly, who does?
But like, you can even look at like older people doing other things that is like their new passion. Like, did you hear about that grandma that is a streamer on oh goodness, what's the name? The Elder Scrolls, I believe.
Oh, Grandma, what is it? Grandma plays Skyrim.
Yes, it's Skyrim. Dude, she's freaking brilliant. Like she's a proper grandma as well, and she takes time. She calls her audience her grandkids. Like, somebody that old can go on and make YouTube videos. That's absolute. Like, to me, that's what it's all about. Like, get your passion and do it, regardless of how old you are.
I really wish I could go back and look at the formation of Grandma Plays Skyrim. Of like, I bet you some teenage kid was like, yeah, Grandma, why don't you play Skyrim? And then a month later, like, Grandma, what are you playing? She's like, Skyrim, because you wanted me to. And they're like, oh,
I
this
want to
backfired.
say
This backfired, but so marvelously.
it's supposed to be like really good for like the elderly's brains, like playing video games and having like the remote. It's actually supposed to be like healthy for you. I
Yeah,
want to say I read an article or something like that.
yeah, it's almost like that. It almost like keeps their mental acumen, and like there's like a very physical component of video games,
Yes.
and especially with streaming, which I think this is a good kind of segue into the streaming and Twitch environment. Of streaming is a lot more physical than people think.
It's definitely, it's hard to sit in a chair for any amount of time. Like, I know my tuchus is sore some days when I get up. I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. And I have to walk around my house for like 30 minutes after I stream. I've got an exercise bike that I keep beside my PC now, just so that like whenever I'm done streaming, I'm like, all right, let me get on the bike for like 20 or 30 minutes. I gotta move.
Let me get some exercise in a little bit. But no, like I mean, with having to stay upbeat and full of energy for 8 hours.
Yes.
Like, I work in an office environment for my day job.
Yes.
And I do not maintain that high energy for any amount of time. Like, I sit down in my chair at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, and I'm tired. I'm already ready to go home. But if you sit down with that mentality when streaming, it doesn't work for long. It doesn't work for long. It may work for a little while, but eventually it just doesn't pan out, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like tuning in. Like sometimes when I'm at work, I'll get bored and I'll just like search for just new streamers that I haven't heard of before, just to kind of lurk. I don't talk in a lot of chats that I lurk in, but there's nothing worse than like Googling up a game or something that I think I might want to play in the future, find somebody streaming it, and then I'm watching them stream, and they look like they're just miserable and bored. And it's not even like they're frustrated or bored with the game. They're just bored of life. And I really just want to be like, hey, would you like smile? Can you talk to me? I really need entertainment right now.
Do you need a hug? Do you
Like,
want to talk about it? Like, yeah.
High five. Are you having a bad day? Like, and I get that. We all have bad days. But it's really depressing. As someone that streams as well, it's so depressing to go into a stream and just be like, oh, you must be having a bad day, but I really want to watch you play this game because I want to know about this game, but maybe there's somebody else that's playing this game.
Right. I'll 1,000% agree with that one. It's one of those, in a weird way, maybe it sounds terrible as I do stream, but I don't watch a lot of random streamers.
That's fair.
So I'm part of several different Discords and communities, and I'm like, well, I'll go watch this person, like a new person joined. Hey, I'll go watch their stream. Hey, this person's streaming. I haven't seen them in a while. I'll go watch their stream. It's less, let me go to Twitch and go spin the wheel of Twitch roulette and find something. To me, I'm like, 9 times out of 10, it's like, sweet, more Fortnite. You know, in a weird sense, I feel like I run into more people who don't like Fortnite than I do that do like Fortnite. And maybe that's just because I'm looking for them, but
I've never been a fan of Fortnite. I have like my one guilty pleasure game is PUBG. But I don't stream it because I'm not very good at PvP at all. And so normally if I want to play it, then I have a group of friends that if I'm streaming, they'll normally like hit me up and they'll be like, hey, can you end your stream like 20 minutes early so that in 2 hours we can play PUBG? Like,
right. Okay. So one of the main topics that I want to talk about, which I think you might actually be the unicorn in this situation, is recently Twitch removed their communities. So you have a Discord community.
Correct.
Which there will be a plug later on, and a link in the description. So you were telling me that you never used Twitch's communities. Is that correct?
Correct.
So how did you grow your brand? Like, here's the time of let's find out your secrets. How did you grow your brand and your fan loyalty, if that makes sense? If that's a good
Yeah.
word to use, without the use of communities.
So I guess I am a unicorn there. I honestly I don't actually I don't call them my fans. I don't believe that, to me, to have fans, you have to be like a rock star, and I am nowhere even close to that. I call all my followers, they're my fam. When you follow me or when you sub to me, like you're part of the E fam. Like, I'm your new mother, and not in like a weird sense. Like I have members of the fam that send me DMs because they legitimately need help with their homework, or they're getting ready to apply to college, or they're trying to send in for a promotion, or they're applying for a new job. Hey, Mrs. E, can you look over this for me? I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Or they're just having a bad day. Well, tell me about your day, darling. I'm here. So it's kind of like a big thing that I push, and I always correct, or I don't necessarily correct. I think that's like a negative type word. But I don't call them fans. They're my fam, and I adore them so much. But yeah, I have no idea what the Twitch communities is. I was never involved in any of it. I think I had mentioned that to you before. So I don't even know how people use them to get bigger, because I never use them. So it's kind of a weird thing. So I couldn't even tell you how I did it, because I'm not sure how other people. I know other people that used them. I just don't actually know how they were used.
So maybe I'm understanding it wrong too, but mostly it was used like I had one. It was the Gaming and Chill community.
Okay.
And you could set your streams as part of that community, and basically it was like you were repping that community, basically.
Okay.
And
so is it like, did you have to like join it? Like, did people have to apply to join, or could anybody just?
Not ours. Some of them do, some of them don't. Ours was very much like, just put it in there, and if you want to use it, great. You don't have to. And basically, it was a way that you could then click on that link and say you were also streaming under the Gaming and Chill community.
Mm-hmm.
You could find out other streamers who were streaming under that banner, basically. And you could have up to 3 communities set at one time. So you could have good examples were the Gaming and Chill community, Miss E's Place, and Mystic Mooners. And you could rep basically 3 communities, and it was like, oh, okay. And it made it super easy. You could go like twitch.tv/communities/ the name of the community. And so say someone from your community wanted to go, or you wanted to go raid someone in your community when you're done with your stream. You'd go into Miss E's Place community and go, hey, this person is streaming. And you can easily just see who in your group was streaming at the moment. And you could go raid them or host them or whatever. And that's how a lot of people used it. Which is why people were super upset when Twitch did away with it. Because
that makes sense.
Now there was no unified way to figure out who was part of what to go raid and host. So then it became, well, now I have to go through Discord, and there a lot of people, I think you have one in there in your Discord channel of like a live place, correct?
Right, yeah, like a promote yourself type thing.
And a lot of people have those, but it was one of those, you have to scroll up and down to find a person, or you click on a link and, they're no longer live anymore. Cool. Well, and as you're sitting there fumbling at the end of your stream going, we're going to go raid this person. Nope, they're no longer live. This person. Nope, they're no longer live. This person. Oh, cool, they're on a BRB. All right, cool. Whereas with the twitch.communities site, you could see all the live streams happening at one time, and you could see who is live at the moment, who is on a BRB, who was, and it would tell you what games they were playing. So you'd be like, well, I don't want to go raid somebody who's playing Fortnite. I want to go raid, I'm playing Fallout 76. I'm going to go raid someone playing Fallout 76. It makes sense. And that went away. Like overnight. Like that. And it was gone. And people were super upset because then we got the tags system. Which tags were
I mean I use them because I think they're fun. And most of the time I use them ironically. Like I will generally put like stupid tags in there just to be fun.
Right.
I don't actually know. I'm 100% sure I don't use it correctly 95% of the time.
Well, I mean, I was talking about this on a different podcast with another community leader as well, about how the Twitch tags are really weird. Like, there's 7 of them for MOBAs. And, like, none of them... only recently we got an MMO tag.
Yeah, I feel they are lacking as far as a lot of those tags go. I know that sometimes if I'm just kind of like in a relaxing mood or if I've had a super stressful day, I play House Flipper, which is literally a house flipping sim.
Oh, yeah. I've seen part of that.
I love it. I think it's fun. I can pay attention to the chat, hang out with the fam some more. There's no stress. I don't have to fight anybody. I'm just painting walls and tearing down walls, decorating the house, and there's no tag for like half of that. I'm like, yeah, I'm virtually painting a wall. Can I have something that's not like ASMR? Like,
right, and it got weird to brand your stuff.
Yeah, it's like I'm just guessing at the time. So now I just let it. If I'm not gonna like play around and be silly with it, then I just let the thing tag whatever normally people tag.
Now it auto tags stuff.
Some stuff, yeah.
But when it started, there was no auto tagging of stuff. So it was like, just I'm playing this game. Well, it's
I feel like I feel like it was created by like an intern at Twitch.
So it was like sure, like YouTube uses tags, right?
Yeah, yeah. YouTube uses tags, Twitch uses tags, or Twitter uses tags, Instagram uses tags, the hashtags. So they're just like, hey, we're going to go ahead and move it from the hashtags on all these other platforms. We need hashtags. Bring us more hashtags.
Right. So yeah, that's how people would use the communities to grow basically dedicated followership as well as basically build that fam out, I guess.
Yeah.
So when people got upset when that got removed, and I can understand it. I think it created a void that I feel several companies have stepped up and was like, we'll fill that void. I don't know if you've heard of it, but like Gilded is a service that came in. I would say it came in prior to, and it was like, here's our time to shine. But it allowed you to put events on a schedule. It allowed people to join teams for certain games, and allowed people to hook their their Twitch into it, so that way you could easily see who is streaming what at any given moment. It's something that I've used in multiple communities now. So I can put, hey, at this time I'm streaming Guild Wars, and basically people can RSVP, and when they do, they get updates about 30 minutes before going, hey, your event of Derrick Plays Guild Wars is coming up in 30 minutes. Here's the link. And it's super easy to do that like now. And I think it's stepped in with some utilities that Twitch doesn't have, which I feel like Twitch should be getting, at least, I think.
Yeah.
Because I would like a lot more. It feels like Twitch is the social media site that's not a social media site that should be a social media site. Because if you think about it, like a lot of stuff outside of Twitch happens on Discord.
I agree with that to an extent. I know I read somewhere, and I'm really hoping that this was like an April Fool's joke or something, but with social media, you have like looking for and dating websites, and if that's the one thing that really bothers me the most, is I read somewhere Twitch was like thinking about rolling out like a dating app edition or some something like that. And that, as a gamer, like that just ticked me off. I was just like, no, I don't know. I don't
People
know.
already use Twitch as kind of like a
Like,
low-key dating site already, and it's kind of
don't
not
make
okay.
that a feature. I mean, people, if my viewers want to talk to each other on the side, or whatever, if people happen to meet in my stream, that's amazing. Happy for them. I expect a wedding invitation, but don't make it like a feature that says like, hey, now introducing Twitch dating.
I feel like that would absolutely increase the accounts of harassment by like a zillion %. Like I feel like that would actually cause more issues than not.
I feel like people would just. Can you imagine, like, Tom and Sue are hanging out in your stream, and you're like, oh, hey, I think you guys will be cute together. Let me go ahead and throw out this Twitch dating 101, and they decide to click on it, and then, Sue cheats on Tom, and Tom doesn't clean his house, so that doesn't work out, but then they're going to know that it's your fault because they met you on Twitch.
Right.
They met because of you.
Exactly. It's like, well, cool. No one wants to be the matchmaker that fails. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like I've heard that as well. I'm like, no, maybe we should use that more of like a looking for group sort of thing. Because like right now that's like the biggest issue that I kind of have is like finding people to game with. Like especially older games.
Yeah.
So I use that as an example, but I actually do play Guild Wars still, and it's an older MMO. But it's like, okay, if I want to try to find somebody to play Guild Wars, I've got to go onto the subreddit for Guild Wars. And those people are super hardcore about Guild Wars on a level that I'm really just not ready for that level of commitment. I'm looking for more of a casual fling of playing video games and not a serious relationship of playing video games. No, I don't want to join your PvP team for 6 nights a week. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah,
Come on now.
I know.
Noob. You're not doing it 6 nights a week. You're not.
I know. But
so disappointed.
I wish there was like, and Gilded has that. And again, I don't think either of us are sponsored by Gilded. Although, I mean, hook me up. Hook us up.
I'm not sponsored, so anybody want to call me, call me.
There you go. But they have like a looking for a group system where you can basically on a weird level, it's close to the descriptions of Tinder. Again, married long before Tinder became a thing, so I never done the online dating thing. And you can basically go, it'll go, hey, these people are kind of interested in playing the same game, and they'll put like a small bio of like, hey, I'm looking for this type of group, I'm looking for these people to join this guild, or I usually play as this, but let's play together. And it's like, I'm interested. And then you can start to see more, and then you can invite them to your team, and they can basically apply. Like, hey, what role do you play? Hey, what server do you play? Are you looking for a more casual play? Are you looking for a serious RP? Like, what are you wanting out of your gaming system? And if they apply, you can look at their application and go, yeah, no, you're super heavy into RP, and we are not. While we value your contribution, we don't think we're going to go with you. So in a weird sense, I wish that Twitch had something like that, to where you could easily see people willing to game.
Yeah. On your level.
Right. And I wish that was something that Twitch would take advantage of, because I feel like there's a lot more connecting that Twitch can do that they're not.
Come on, Twitch. We don't want Twitch dating. We want Twitch looking for other gaming. Exactly. They misunderstood us.
And they're so similar in a weird sense of like, are you interested in playing Guild Wars with, the bad boy XX420? I think I'm going to have to pass. It's similar, but not at all. Take romantic inclination and make it into gaming, and let's talk. Like, that
they heard dating and people were saying gaming. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're talking over a staticky mic, and they're like, did you say dating? And we're like, no, gaming. Okay, dating.
Okay, dating. Gotcha. Yeah. Write it down, intern.
Keep writing. So that's you. So you, like you said, you run a Discord community. So what led you to Discord? Like, what was your Discord discovery story?
So,
I feel like there's always a
so,
story.
oh yeah, no. So funny story. I've always played video games. But I up until about 3.5 years ago, I only played Nintendo 64 games, or Sega Genesis games, and then I had my husband got me into Diablo 3. Diablo 3 came out on Xbox like the same week that we got married.
Okay.
And so when that happened, he was super excited. He's like, oh, I'm going to play Diablo, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. So I watched him play it for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, oh, well, I mean, can I play? Is this like a multiplayer? Can I be the healer? Like, I'm not going to sit here and watch you play. We just got married. It's bad, like,
Right.
So
I'd like to do something now, please.
Yeah. So he hooked me up. We learned how to play together, and then we played a lot of Diablo pretty much nonstop for a long time. And then he ended up we had Mini Me, and a couple weeks after she was born, Fallout 4 came out. And he was a huge Fallout fan. And so I remember him looking at me the night that it came out, and he goes, hey, so I pre-ordered this. Can I go pick it up right now? And it's like 11:30. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you pick it up now? And he was like, yeah, she's asleep. And I was like, I mean, yeah, okay. So he went and picked it up. And I hadn't really been into the series before that. And I'd heard about it, but I'd never played it. I'd never really watched anybody play it. So I'm at home in maternity leave for like 2 or 3 more months. I have a corporate job that has very, very good benefits.
Congratulations.
And yeah, I know, thanks. So I'm home on maternity leave, and I'm bored. Like, when you have a baby, they sleep a lot. And that's all they do is they sleep, and then they feed, and then that's it. So you get kind of bored sitting by yourself all the time. So I started playing Fallout 4, and it was insane how much I thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved the story behind it. So I started, when I went back to work, I was be like, you get like hooked on a game, and you're like, man, I really wish I could play right now. So I started watching YouTube videos on Fallout and Fallout lore, and I saw like creators like the Apple and Asynchrony, Oxhorn, and I was just like, hey, these guys are great. And one of them had mentioned that they had a Discord, and I was like, I don't even know what Discord is. And they had a link for it, and I was like, well, I guess I'll click this. I wonder what this does. And that was just like
the world changed.
Like, everything changed from that day on. And so I just kind of started hanging out on Discord. Like, it was opening a whole new world to me, because I don't socialize a lot. I go out occasionally, but mostly I just work and hang out with Mini-Me and my husband. So this whole thing on Discord, I was like completely blown away. I was like, what do you mean all of these people like the same game I do, and they're online right now and they want to talk to me? Like, what?
Seems like one of those ads on the internet. You mean
it really
Eagles want to talk in my area?
Yes, it was so weird. I was just like, for real? So, and I started making a lot of friends on there and just having fun with it. Eventually I put in time. I had been a member on Discord for a really long time. They wanted me to become a moderator, so I started moderating streams for them. Kind of just watching their streams. So I went from just watching regular YouTube channels to watching people stream, and it just kind of went from there.
Nice. I have kind of like a weird one of, I actually created the Gaming and Chill Discord. And it, has low traffic. We're a smaller group. But then I was one day contacted on Twitter. I was like, hey, we'd love if you joined this Discord. And it was for a group. And I joined, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, it was really cool getting to talk to people. And this was at the beginning of this year, actually. And it was around the time that I started really considering making a lot of life changes and basically taking my mental health into more serious consideration. I had been struggling for a while and was like, I need to talk to people. Like, I need to talk to other gamers. Even though I streamed, I didn't really talk to a lot of gamers. Because like my wife does not game very much at all. I was like, I need to talk to other people. Joined this Discord and talked to them, and then through that met good friends. Joined their Discords and joined other Discords from their Discord. So, and then it was just like, okay, cool. And now I'm in the place where I'm like, okay, I mod for a couple of them. I run our own, and it's growing actually slowly but surely. And it's one of those moments of realizing that some groups are, I can talk about this on this group, some I can talk on this on about this group. It's basically finding different families to talk about different aspects, because not every group has every answer, basically. If that makes sense. It's like one of the, this group is more of actual casual gaming. This one is like, hey, I'm going to talk about some deep, dark, repressed feelings here, and no one knows me otherwise. And it's really kind of interesting in that I am actually closer to more people on Discord than I am to some people in real life. If that makes sense. It's like one of those, you don't know me, I'm anonymous stranger on the internet alpha. So I can tell you how I actually feel instead of going at work going, no, great, I'm totally okay. I'm not seething with anger or whatever. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
You can.
No, there's definitely a different level of who you can actually be when you're online versus
right, and
who you are in person.
You often hear the negative side of like, well, on the internet you can be anonymous and you can say anything you want, or people feel like they can say anything they want and be mean to people. Yes, you're right. But also on that same effect, people can be anonymous and actually talk about true things without the need to hide away and go, well, somebody might actually judge me for this. I mean, like I said, going to a Bible college, it's like, well, but even when I was graduating, like talking about mental well-being was not really a thing. And to talk about it was like, well, just pray some more. I was like, yeah, that's really not fixing it.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, no. You can't pray away the depression. Believe me, I'm pretty sure someone's tried.
Lots of people have tried, and unfortunately don't always make it. Yeah.
But yeah, Discord has brought that boon of people into my life, and it's through where I meet new people. How did I actually come into contact with you? Twitter, right?
Yeah, you sent me a tweet. I think you had seen one of my tweets. I had a troll attack. It was the troll attack because I was so mad after that, and I was like, nah, I just need to say this now.
Maybe. It might have been that, but it's being able to connect with people. Like that, I think is Discord is their biggest thing, is connect with people.
Yes.
So you mentioned something, and we're probably not going to end up finishing all these note outlines. You mentioned that you play Fallout now.
Yes.
How do you feel about Fallout 76?
Everybody always asks that. So
you play with other people, correct?
Yeah. No, I have my nuke squad. Shout out to the nuke squad.
So I'm going to take a stab.
Yeah.
Maybe this will help describe help formulate a word cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Fun in multiplayer, not so fun in solo.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said that too.
Okay.
But at the same time, I have really, really good friends that actually prefer playing it solo. And we kind of have a joke about it because I have a really good friend, White Collar, and him and we play occasionally together. And he made the comment, he's like, all right, Mrs. Z's going to hate me, but I kind of like playing by myself. And I was like, you just don't like playing me.
Wow.
But no, and genuinely, he just likes playing by himself. It's just, it's a better Fallout game to him by himself. And I'm like, I'm not mad. Yeah, I'm not mad. I feel like Bethesda probably missed the boat a bit with the game, because there are older Fallout fans from 3 and New Vegas, and even 4, asked for a multiplayer Fallout game. It's something that the fans were in fact asking. where they missed the boat was they didn't ask for the game that we received. We wanted something with a storyline that we could play with our friends. There is a very lax. I don't, and a lot of people disagree with me on this. I don't find the lore in Fallout 76 to be amazing. It's not anything to be like, oh, hey, Mom, guess what I did today? Not even remotely that good. Some of the stories are okay, but I found that they have very cliched, boring endings, and I've been very disappointed with the lore. I don't know if they just fired somebody, so that the lore is just awful now. But as far as like the fun stuff of the game, like I love hang out with my nuke squad. We will troll each other. We will blow each other up for no reason. We will we're called the nuke squad because we try to set off a nuke 3 times a week. We'll go through one of the silos and see if we can beat it faster than we did before to set off a nuke to blow up an area.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I love setting off the nukes. If that's the only thing that I do in that game, and I like building in Fallout. I think it's so awesome to be able to build a post-apocalyptic world. But West Virginia, the way that they did it, it was never touched by the bombs. And so I feel like the entire world's lacking there. It's like they took, I want to say, I think one of my friends compared it to Rust. And I was like, so basically they took Rust and sprinkled it with Fallout fairy dust and called it a Fallout.
You know, I can totally see that.
I've never played Rust, though, so I don't know if that's an entirely accurate...
I played about 15 minutes of Rust.
Oh, 15 minutes. So you're the expert then?
No, God, no. I think I figured out how to pick up a rock. And I was like...
Oh.
I was like, hey, yeah, no, I bought it, downloaded it. I was like, oh, this is...
not what I was thinking.
Great. I'm going to see about that Steam refund policy.
Yeah, Steam refund. That's another thing people don't like. And I don't know if I would have refunded it, to be fair, but they didn't put 76 out on Steam, and a lot of people are mad about that. And they're like, oh, it's because Steam won't refund people's money. And you can't. It's been a nightmare for a lot of people that want to refund the game.
Well, it's one of those like weird things where they basically trap people and go, haha, you played it for too long, now you can't get a refund. It's like...
Yeah, even then, I want to say they like denied a refund to somebody because he had downloaded the game. And he had put in his code, played like 10 or 15 minutes of it, and was like, nah, I want my money back. And they were like, oh, no, you used the code. You can't refund it now. And I'm like, how do you know you don't? Yeah, it's like, how do you know you don't like something if you don't try it out for, 15, 20 minutes? Like, come on now. Yeah. So they've definitely failed. Also, I do have to say, Fallout 76 probably would not be such a big failure if there was a pre-war bonnet. In Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, there was a clothing item called Pre-War Bonnet. It did absolutely nothing for your character. It just looked pretty. It's a hat.
Fair.
Yeah, they failed to include it in Fallout 4.
Glamour is
which is probably... It is. It really is. And they failed to include it in Fallout 4, which is, what was lacking from the game. But, I mean, Fallout 76, I guarantee you, would have had at least a C rating instead of an F if they would have added a pre-war bonnet. But they didn't, so, sorry, Bethesda.
What are you going to do? Yeah, we touched on, like, what do you stream and everything. Why don't we move into some self-promo? You said you have a Discord channel. Do you want to real fast go through that, and then we'll go ahead and call it a podcast?
Yeah, I have a Discord channel. I never remember to actually put the link out there. If anybody, if you're, chilling out or whatever, and you come to my stream, one for my homies, and that's the number 4, not the word 4. One for my homies. Check me out. If you come in, you're hanging out, you like what you see, you love the fam, just let us know. Hit the follow button and just let us know you want to join our Discord. It's definitely for my family, just because I put so much time and effort into it. I really just like to, I just want to make sure that everybody's happy when I'm there. So yeah, I also tag everyone a lot.
There you go. And I'll put all like your Twitch link, your Twitter link, and do you use YouTube very much?
I have a YouTube channel. I occasionally will put a video on it. I'm not the best at video editing, so it doesn't get used very often.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put those in the description down below. and you can go follow you on all of that stuff. You can go to Twitch, the Twitter, and the Discord.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go. Be sure to check them out. Great Discord, great stream. Like I said, I tuned in the other day, and you were reading Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer before playing some Fallout 76. I believe it was Fallout 76. I hope it was Fallout 76.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. I've been streaming a lot of 76 recently just because everybody wants to see what it looks like.
I noted that, and that's actually why I recorded an hour worth of Fallout 76 footage to go behind the podcast.
Oh, nice.
I gotta be honest, it might have been the longest hour of my life.
It probably was. To be honest. If you don't have if you don't have your nuke squad with you, it's just much fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was a good podcast. I think we can call it a podcast there. Do you have any final words before we end it for the week?
No, thank you so much for having me on, though. I really, really appreciate the opportunity. It was awesome.
We'll have to have
I learned a lot.
We'll have to have you on some other time.
Heck yeah, I'd love to come back. That'd be awesome.
So without further ado, we hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to share it with your friends on all of your social medias, Twitters, and everything. And if you join the Discord, the Gaming and Chill Discord, which will be linked down below as well, we actually have a form that if you or you know somebody else who you'd like to see on the podcast, we have a form that you can fill out, and it'll help us get a little bit more acquainted with you. That way we can contact you and be like, hey, why don't we get you on the podcast? So until next weekend, we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys. And thank you to all of our listeners out there, because we really couldn't do it without you. We hope you enjoyed this week's Gaming and Chill podcast. If you'd like to know more about the podcast, follow us on social media, or learn how to support the podcast directly, check us out at www.gamingandchillpodcast.com. Also, be sure to stay up to date with Gaming and Chill by following us on Twitter at gaming_in_chill. Yes, that is gaming_in as in Nancy _chill. You can also find links to the articles, games, and videos mentioned in this podcast in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.